Hello everyone and welcome back to Painting with Martin. Today we're going to do a very quick tutorial of how to paint windows, or glass windows to be more precise. And that's a little bit tricky sometimes to actually get the right color in place. And this video is going to be quite quick as in regards to my other longer videos. And I'm going to use a model that I have here for this purpose called a supply truck from the company of Here's the Board Game. If you've been following me for a while, you can see that I've been using these models from this game to be painting some of my tutorials with. And in order to paint the glass windows, you can see here there are some glass windows on the side here, and I can use a non-painted model and then use some glass windows in the front, sides, as well as in the rear of this supply truck coming from the Oberkommando West expansion pack. You can also use the same tutorial for the Kubelwagons from the regular set for the Germans, as well as any other glass windows you have in other models and other games. So as you can see, it looks quite okay now. I've base coated the windows with white, which is Vallejo's white here, you can see that, but you can also use grey here from Citadel, or simply Celestra grey if you want a little bit different color than just white, because sometimes it can be a little bit problematic to work with. So as you can see, I've already base coated here. It's a little bit tricky and fiddly to get it right done, and if you miss out a little bit, you can also use the regular mix of Vallejo's neutral grey and Vallejo's as a mix with Vallejo's German grey. And you can see how I've painted this model in my other painting tutorial, and there's a link in the description box for that, how you can paint these German models. But with that said, I'm going to show you how to get it done. And the first thing you will need to do is you are going to use a contrast color from Citadel, and it's called Contrast Aethermatic Blue. And what you need to do here is you simply need to give this bottle a good shake, because otherwise the pigment, as you can see here, will be stuck left in the bottom. So I'm going to do right now off camera, because otherwise the whole camera is going to shake up. So I'm going to give it a good shake. You can hear me shaking it, and you can even tap it a little. Oh, that was my dog over there. And this, after I've shaken this bottle, you can see that it's nice and fluent, and you can see that the contrast paint is kind of like a mix between a shade and a base paint. And this lets you skip the shading. It's really useful if you're running out of time or something like that. And what you do simply here is that you are going to be looking at taking a fairly small brush, size 2 or size 3 here, and you're going to be simply coating it with some paint. You painted neat, no water or anything needed. And what you simply do here is simply you coat the area here with some of this color, and as you can see, it will simply turn into a nice bluish green model. And I can do the side windows here as well. Maybe a little bit more color, and it definitely looks much better than the regular just leaving it blank or gray or something like that. Now it can be a little bit fiddly to get it all right, and also the back sides here as well, the back and if you are covering some of the other sides of the model, that's okay. You can just cover it over with some grey paint later on. So what you simply do is you leave it there to dry and when you leave it there to dry, you give it another 3-4 layers. And as you can see here on the front here, it's already starting to look quite alright. You can give it another cover. As you can see here, it looks quite alright. I'm going to paint the right-hand color on the sides here as well, so you can see how it's done. And I'm going to show you how it looks like after just one color, after one set. And that's what it looks like. And you can leave it to dry there, and you can give it another thin coat. Keep it not so much paint on the bristles. Give it a good thin coat. This is another model that I have here. And you can do that while the other one is drying, so you can see how it's done. It's a very easy way of actually painting windows. You get good results very quickly. And I do this as the final step of painting the model. So I put in all the details, all the other small like rear windows, or not windows but rear, like, you know, tools or tool handles, anything like that. This is the final step before I put it with varnish, which I do last, and I have a video for that as well. Varnish protects the model from letting the paint chip off after using it many times, and it's a good way, and I solidly recommend it. And see here that just the side windows. See here, I'm bringing the model up a little bit more for you to see. The only thing that might be needed here in the end is just to, if you feel that you've covered the white with a little bit too much, that you actually simply touch it up with a little bit of grey. And as you can see here now, if we switch back to the other one, it's almost dry. I can add a small thin coat to just make sure that there's no white shining through. Such as you can see that here. Then I'm going to touch that up a little bit of more Aethermatic Blue contrast color from Citadel. The other option, if you don't want to use this color, is you can touch up this one in a variety of stages, starting with a little bit of darker blue and touching it up stage by stage by adding smaller and smaller quantities of blue, regular blue, and eventually a little bit of white. It's far more complicated, and if you're out of time or you just want to feel like you want to get the models on the tables, you can start playing, because Coming Over Here is the game is a really nice, cool board game. Strongly recommended from Bad Crow Games. So if you want to get the miniatures on the table so you can play, this is a good way to do it. So as you can see here, it looks fairly okay. I might want to leave this one to dry a little bit more and give it another coat, but that's up to you. This one looks fairly decent on the table, and that's what you're aiming for. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell button down here. So that you don't miss anything when I put up my next videos. I'll try to do about one video a week, and if you like it, also consider telling your friends about it, pressing the like button, and see if I can close this bottle, because if you don't, you're going to spill this bottle all over the table. It's happened a couple of times for me. Anyways, I hope you can go and put some paint on your brushes, put them on the miniatures, make sure they looked fairly decent for a tabletop game, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.